Hi everyone, we are back with Vlad from Boosteroid, and we're just going to do a follow-up interview. And I think we're going to be having these every so often, so it's good to actually get another one started. So Vlad, how are you? And life treating you okay?
Yeah, hi there, guys. Everything's fine. Yeah, uh,
Yeah,
excited to have another session.
yeah. Cool. I know you. When we finished our talk the last time, you said we wanted to have another one because there was a couple of other wee things you wanted to bring up and we'll talk about. So we'll kick it off nice and easy, and say, how many ways can you access Boosteroid? Because I know you've got a new app out there for Linux and stuff like that. What's the ways you can actually get into Boosteroid?
The key thing about cloud gaming and about Boosteroid is that you can basically use any device close at hand, and with Boosteroid, you can access the cloud gaming in your browser. It's Chrome, Safari, Opera, Edge, basically any other browser. And this was the first client that we launched, a web client in the browser back in 2019 when the commercial launch happened. And we were basically one of the first cloud gaming providers to enable this. And it's still one of the most popular ways to access Boosteroid. People simply open a browser tab and run a PC game in the browser. It's easy to start, easy to finish. You just close the browser tab and that's it. You don't need to log out from anything and stuff like that. So yeah, uh, but browser is not the only way, of course, to access Boosteroid. You can also download applications for different kinds of platforms, and the idea is that in the application you have certain improvements that you cannot have in the browser in terms of the packet loss and so on, because in the browser we are as a developer limited by the capabilities of the browser, but with the app we can do a little bit more. So we do have the app for Windows, um, and also apps for other platforms like Android smartphone and Android TV. A good thing is that you can basically run a PC games on a TV and on a smartphone, um, and yeah. We have recently released apps for Linux, different platforms: Ubuntu, Fedora, Mint, Debian. Um, we don't have that much of Linux players, but we do have some. And still, this idea behind Linux and behind um, uh, this software is quite close to us, and that's why we decided to support Linux gamers with the native clients for the platforms, for the operating systems they are using. So right now they don't have to think what they should do to run a Windows or Mac OS game. They just open the app and all those games are available to them with no extra hassle. And yeah, the apps are becoming more and more popular, and I guess they were featured somewhere on Linux web resources and magazines writing about Linux gaming and stuff like that. So people know more about that and are willing to try. Um, yeah, so the key thing is to make access as easy as possible. We'll soon release apps for web OS and Tizen to join LG and other TV companies that use WebOS, and also Samsung, of course, is the world's top TV company. Uh, yeah, we're making it the access to Boosteroid even more efficient and even more easy to all the gamers out there, because the idea is again to be a Netflix for video games, and to enable access on any device regardless of its processing power, operating system, and so on. You just grab the device you have and you run games on it. And yeah, I guess I guess that's it. You will soon hear more updates about apps, also apps for Windows 7 and older versions, and so on. So there are quite a lot of things coming up.
Yeah, sounds really, really good. It sounds like I'm gonna have to try this on my Steam Deck, to download the app onto the Steam Deck to see how that goes. I know one of the big things that you are proud of is that there's no time limits. I think you've got an interesting story about what's the record of someone playing non-stop on Boosteroid? Because I think you told me the last time it was some ridiculous amount of hours.
Yeah, so we don't have session time limits, and we have quite a lot of gamers who take advantage of that. And the record, I guess, is over 32 hours. The session from the UK, um, and basically we have a tool that shuts down the user session if there is no activity for 10 minutes. So when we see the session of 32 hours long, it means the guy or the guys, maybe they have shifts, one guy is playing, then the other one is playing, we don't know, but they somehow managed to play games for 32 hours non-stop, which is probably not that crazy for a true gamer, right? But yeah, still quite a long session. And we don't have session time limits. People are not disconnected, um, regardless of how long they play. And yeah, we also, another aspect of this is that we don't have any hours included in the subscription, and the subscription is unlimited in terms of the playtime that you can enjoy. And because I know sometimes it can be a little bit tricky with some providers. They say, well, you have a 1 month subscription, but eventually you end up having 20, 40, or 50 hours per month included in this subscription, which makes the subscription not really 1 month but 50 hours. You can do it in 5 days. So we don't have this stuff, and the access in terms of the playing time is really unlimited, and the session time is also unlimited.
Yeah, that's great to hear because I know that is a complaint out from a number of people that there is session length times with some cloud providers that you're kicked off after a certain amount of time, or you are limited on the amount of hours. But it's good that you've got that, and you've got a real interesting stack of games. What's the most popular game on your platform? Do you know that on the top of your head? Sorry, I should have told you about this question before I was going to do this.
Yeah, that's all right. Yeah, we have let's say up to 20 games that are really popular, and the rest are people, of course, play the rest. But the top 20 probably is like 80% of all the sessions. And yeah, I guess number one is Fortnite. And yeah, I don't know about the runner up, but number one should be Fortnite for sure. And yeah, Fortnite is also a record breaking game in terms of the platforms, because we have many users playing it on smartphone, playing it on a TV, and it's basically the only game that is played on all possible platforms, and yeah, this record in terms of the session length, over 32 hours. Some guy from the UK, he was playing Fortnite exactly. So yeah, not.
See, in my head, I thought when you said that it would be like an idle game or something, like a game where he had to just move the mouse, or he got a ticker or something going on there, just a clicker, so he would still be moving or something. But no, it was actually Fortnite he was playing that for. Flipping heck.
Yeah, and yeah, and when we have such long sessions, because we don't have them pretty often, maybe a couple of times a week, and we check what's going on. Like, we see the session logs if the people are really playing, because all this cryptocurrency mining stuff and so on. Who knows what they are doing? So when we have a very, very long, unusually long sessions, we check the activity, what's going on, and of course, in most of the cases, we see that people are really playing. We see the input, they press relevant buttons and so on. So we have quite a lot of true gamers and people who have a lot of free time.
Yep, an absolute load of free time. I can't believe it was actually Fortnite. I thought in my head it was something, it was a completely different game, because Fortnite, you need your rest in that to get your kills and to be alert. It's really mad, that. And yeah, totally and utterly not expecting that. I know something else you wanted to touch on was some of these new features you were going to be coming out with, and you're going to be doing direct streaming. So if someone's, I better rephrase this slightly so it makes a bit more sense. You'll be able to output to Twitch, your stream, and YouTube as well, is it?
Yeah, we will most probably release the YouTube integration first and then go for Twitch and other streaming platforms. And that's something that we've been working for some time already. And this is the streaming of the gaming session from Boosteroid to a streaming platform, which will help every single gamer become a streamer without all this high-end hardware necessary for streaming and so on. It will be pretty easy. You just press one button while you are playing, and you can stream live your gameplay to a streaming platform, and the video is saved afterwards. You can access it after the streaming ends. And we are not releasing this thing right now because we really fear that in some of the regions we might run out of the capacity that we have right now, because this will definitely attract more people, and we understand that this will be the only solution like this on the cloud gaming market right now. So we really expect a significant user growth because of this, which is of course a good thing, but as a cloud gaming provider you need to ensure that you have enough infrastructure. So we are waiting right now for the next infrastructure deployments in the US and in Europe. And once this expansion is done, then we will definitely release this without any fears that there will be too much people coming and using it. Because it's also, a very powerful organic promotion tool. Videos will be released on YouTube. They will feature Boosteroid in the video title and so on. And we expect hundreds of thousands of videos per week, or even more, based on the number of gaming sessions that we have. So this should be a really crazy thing. We are excited to launch it as soon as possible, just waiting for some hardware expansion. And maybe this will be bundled with a big update featuring also the 4K tier, this streaming tool, and a couple of other good things. And so we are targeting something around mid-autumn, early winter to release all these things. But again, who knows how it will go. The team is in Ukraine facing challenges every day, so sometimes things take longer than expected. But anyway, we are committed to launch this as soon as possible.
Yeah, I was going to go into that. It's going to be tied into the new upgrades, but yeah, it seems like it is. And again, I'm sorry for saying this, but I only realized yourself is based in the Ukraine as well. I spoke before we came on here, so I think everybody will be saying that everybody is thinking of you during this time, which is awful. And we want it all to end as soon as possible. So with this, there's you tease some stuff there. There's more things coming, and on top of the 4K 120. Are we going to get a wee hint of what that is?
The time will come, and we will make the announcements. But for now, we prefer to remain silent about some things that are coming up. And but 4K will definitely be the most important update here, and I don't think there will be another update as big as this. So that's the main one.
That's the main one.
And the game session streaming as well.
Yeah. Okay, no problem. See, I can't say I didn't try, but I do know that Boosteroid is actually looking into other things outside of game streaming as well. Can you tell us where you're going with that?
Well, yeah, we basically the technology, both software and hardware that we use, is applicable far beyond gaming. And this is also the cloud-based access to Office apps like Adobe and other apps that require a lot of processing power and so on. And coming back to the entertainment area, then the technology is also very relevant for VR, Metaverse thing, and for interactive content like interactive videos. And this is something that has been around, I guess, since late 60s, interactive movies and so on. So there were people like 40, 50 years ago who already had the idea of this. And if you check the history of interactive content and movies, you will see that they were quite good attempts to do this in the 80s and the 90s. So it's been relevant and is still relevant. And cloud gaming can contribute a lot to this, because eventually what you need for the interactive movie is to enable cloud gaming inside the movie. The part of the movie is fully interactive, like the video game. It's rendered on, let's say, Unreal Engine, and it's difficult to understand where the movie ends and the game starts. Today we have a CGI in every single movie, even in romantic comedies, where you don't have all those special effects, but still you have CGI there. And in many cases, you don't even notice that this is a CGI, right? You think it's real. And the same thing is going to happen already in a few years with movies that will be partially interactive, just like video games. You will grab a gamepad or a smartphone and you will have the fully interactive environment inside the movie. And of course, many different ways how the script will change depending on your actions. And I'm not talking about 5 or 10 script versions. There will be hundreds. And these projects are already in the development with big streaming studios and VOD companies. We know that for sure because we are in touch with one of them. We have a technical discussion about the hardware and the software that may be used for that, and we know a couple of insights that sadly we cannot disclose, but this is really amazing thing. And in a couple of years we will see the next generation interactive movies and interactive content where you don't just choose where the character goes or what he or she says, but you can basically control the whole environment. You can go there, you can drive a car, you can shoot somebody down or anything like that, and you will have hundreds of different script changes depending on what you do. And the problem of big studios, big VOD companies right now is that they don't have enough, or let's say they don't have a suitable infrastructure for that, because they have on the hardware level the CPU, storages, and so on, servers that are not capable of delivering low latency environment and real-time interactive video processing and things like that. And that's exactly what cloud gaming is about. So yeah, and even if you are, a very big VOD company, it's still a problem for you to get the infrastructure on the next day you want it to get, because you need big volumes, you need to come up with the most optimized configuration and so on. So that's why we are talking to one of them, and maybe we'll be talking to others in the future, and because we have basically the hardware and the software solution in place for that. And yeah, this will be truly amazing and the next level of entertainment. And the same is true for VR and Metaverse, because VR and Metaverse has been around for many years as well, just like the interactive video. But it's not, it's something wrong with it. Yeah, each time you see VR stuff or Metaverse stuff, well, it's not as good as we want it to be. It's not as in the sci-fi movies or things like that. But cloud gaming and the technology behind cloud gaming is here to bring it to the level it really deserves, because after all, it's also about ultra low latency environments and real-time video processing, and that's what cloud gaming solutions are about. And the same thing is relevant for VR and Metaverse. Of course, it's basically also very similar to gaming, and the technology will really contribute. We don't have any projects like this right now, but that's where the technology is heading already, and will be heading in the coming years. We understand that it's another vector of how it is evolving, and that's also the future that will come inevitably. And yeah, we're also very excited about that. We will maybe soon start R&D things of how to apply our software and hardware solutions to that. And yeah, because after all, it was clear many years ago, yeah, that the entertainment is going to this direction. We just didn't have the technology in place. Now we do have it. Still, many things have to be enhanced and worked out, sorted out. But this is coming and will be there in the next couple of years. So of course we are not looking only into gaming, because originally we are of course a cloud gaming provider. We don't have any other business. But as the technology is evolving and we see where it is heading, we will definitely be on board when it comes to all this really revolutionary stuff like interactive movies, VR, Metaverse, and things like that. Yeah.
There is a lot to take out from that there. First of all, I just want to say about the interactive movies, that's nearly a new form of entertainment, or as you said, beating up from what was before. That sounds really, really good. We've seen with the Unreal 5 tech, the meta humans that they use is just absolutely outstanding.
Yeah.
And you can see how that all will form into that. I don't know where to start with that. So I think we'll go for the headliner sort of stuff. You're looking at VR and the Metaverse. It's very, very, very early days in that, and you're just experimenting with that, or it's some R&D. Would that be the right way of saying it?
Not yet the R&D. Maybe soon we'll start some real R&D, and maybe some demo projects related to that and so on. But it's still, as you've said, we have early days right now. And we've been having these early days for a couple of decades, I think. But now we see that, it's really starting to emerge in the way it should be. So I doubt we will need another 20 years to get there. It will be much faster this time, and it will be the real VR, it will look exactly as we imagine it. And still, we are right now a little bit more about this interactive movie stuff, and that's where we already have more or less solid R&D. But as we are not a content provider, we don't have our own content and so on, so that's the point where we are working together with other companies, with studios, with VOD companies, because here we only have a better technology, and our R&D also depends on what we do together with other companies who own the infrastructure, own the content, and so on. Anyway, we understand that this will be a part of the bundle with cloud gaming, definitely, quite soon. We are talking about with VR and Metaverse maybe up to 7 years, and we will have already very solid projects. And with interactive movies, it's even less. And there are many of them in production right now, and it's a matter, we don't know for sure, but probably 2-3 years, and they will be released, at least some of them, and this will change the way we can consume their entertainment content. The change will be quite significant, and maybe compared to what has happened with video games, when we had this games from early 70s, I don't know, where there are 2 dots on the screen, they are jumping here and there, and in 30 years we have from that time we have open world and advanced graphics and so on. These things are very exciting, and it's only a matter of time, a matter of technology advancements, and we will have this as a part of our everyday life.
Yeah, that sounds absolutely mad. So it does. It's like it could be the next technical or the biggest change to movies and TVs since color and sound and all that sort of. It seems like it's going to be absolutely amazing. It's like a mix between a game and watching TV. That is going to be real interesting to actually see how that all evolves. The next one I want to pick your brains about there is it's something which would interest me, and I think it would interest some other people because we do get comments about this as well, is the applications. You mentioned like Adobe possibly, or some programs. Is that near term, medium term, or long term goal for Boosteroid to put applications into your space?
It's probably too early to talk about that right now, because what we do is more technical R&D stuff and things like that, and that was on agenda, even before we launched commercially. So we were from the day one developing the technology that will be used for games and for apps as well. There is in both cases you have streaming, but it's a little bit different, and the architecture of the software and the hardware should be a little bit different to ensure that the apps are running properly and the graphics are where they should be, if we're talking about the graphic apps. And so I don't think we will be launching a product commercially in the coming year or two, but who knows, maybe we will launch this within a partnership with a company that owns such apps. So maybe more B2B stuff here, or maybe we will launch it as a B2C service, but probably not, definitely not this year, and probably not next year. But we are, of course, looking into this, because the beauty of this solution for apps is that you, as a individual, designer or video maker or audio maker, or as a company, you don't need a powerful graphic station capable of running and rendering and all other stuff like that, and on demand access to such apps is natural, and you pay for the access for as long as you need. You can configure it very easily, how powerful your virtual machine, your remote desktop should be, and it's very beneficial also for the companies that have, let's say, 10 designers or 20 designers in their team. And just imagine, they don't need to have the powerful workstations for each and every designer. They don't have to, if they are using public cloud, then they do need a system administrator, a tech guy who will configure everything, But here we are talking about, again, a Netflix for apps. So it will be as easy as picking a movie on Netflix as picking a game on Boosteroid. Picking the app you need will be as easy, and configuration of all this stuff will also be as easy as this. And this will save a lot of time and money for individual guys working in video, audio, and graphics, and also for companies. And we have a couple of B2B partnerships where people ask, well, we need this right now, please develop this, because gaming is good, but we also need this. This is a much bigger market, all these apps for video rendering, for audio design, and so on. So there is a demand, and such solutions will arise definitely, and we will be one of the providers doing this for sure, because we have the relevant technology in place. We do R&D, we enhance it all the time. That's another thing that will probably be in this future bundle with cloud gaming, interactive movies, and office apps.
Yeah, so there's going to be a clear separation between gaming, business apps, and the other stuff. You've got your gaming with your Boosteroid, and it'll be Boosteroid for apps and Boosteroid for the other. But there's going to be separation. Yeah. But it's all separate out. Yeah, but
it's still emerging right now, and we don't have it. We don't even really have a concept of how it will look like from the business point of view. It's more on the technology and development stage right now.
Sounds really good. Is there anything else you want to talk about here before we wrap it up here?
Well, I guess that's it, and I'm really glad to have a chance, to have more or less regular sessions and to deliver the news and updates of the market of Boosteroid and so on, because we are very excited to talk about what we do. We are pioneering the market, and we have a lot of interesting things that we want to share. So it's really a pleasure to talk and to share all these things.
Yeah, it's absolutely brilliant to have you here as well. So if anybody's got any questions for our future one, just leave a comment below and we will try and answer it. We've already had a wee discussion what we maybe might talk about the next time, so stay tuned. Stay tuned. Thank you all for watching and joining. Obviously, thank you, Vlad, for joining. And that is us.
So, thank you. In touch. Bye.